As the campfire crackled and the stars shimmered overhead, I couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. Our camping trip had started like any other. A group of friends, eager for adventure, heading deep into the woods. But tonight, there was something different in the air, a tension that hung as thick as the evergreen scent. My friends and I had set up our tents in a cozy clearing, surrounded by ancient trees that seemed to whisper their secrets in the wind. We laughed and joked, sharing stories of ghostly encounters and urban legends. The firelight danced on our faces, casting eerie shadows that seemed to elongate and twist, adding a layer of surrealism to our tales. As the night wore on, we heard rustling in the underbrush. Sarah, the brave one of our group, grabbed a flashlight and declared, "I'll go check it out." "Be careful," I called after her, my voice laced with nervous laughter, but the laughter faded as she disappeared into the darkness. Minutes felt like hours as we waited, our eyes scanning the inky blackness for any sign of her return. Suddenly, the forest went eerily silent, and an icy shiver trickled down my spine. Something wasn't right. Just when I couldn't stand the silence any longer, a blood-curdling scream pierced the night. We jumped to our feet, our hearts pounding, and followed the sound, our flashlights cutting through the inky void. We found Sarah, trembling and wide-eyed, near a dense thicket. She was clutching something in her trembling hand. "I saw him," she stammered, her voice quivering. A faceless man with hollow eyes. We exchanged uneasy glances. Sarah was known for her pranks, but the terror in her eyes was real. "Come on, Sarah. You're just trying to spook us," Mark said, trying to sound brave, but his quivering voice betrayed his fear. But as we turned to go back to the campsite, we saw it. A figure, tall and shadowy, stood on the edge of the clearing. The moonlight revealed nothing but darkness where a face should be. Panic set in, and we bolted back to our campsite, tripping over roots and rocks in our haste. Our laughter was replaced by frantic breaths, and the flickering campfire offered no solace as we huddled together. We tried to rationalize what we had seen. It could have been a trick of the light, or maybe exhaustion playing tricks on us. But deep down, we all knew something was terribly wrong. Hours passed in a tense silence, and then we heard it again, a rustling in the bushes. My heart raced as we trained our flashlights on the source. The faceless figure emerged from the shadows, moving with an unnatural, almost liquid grace. We screamed in terror and scattered, running blindly into the woods. The forest seemed to close in around us, the trees twisting and contorting in bizarre ways. We stumbled and fell, branches tearing at our clothes and skin. I could hear my friends calling out to each other, their voices trembling with fear. But the faceless figure pursued us relentlessly, always just out of reach. It seemed to feed on our fear, growing stronger with every terrified scream. As I ran, I stumbled upon an old, dilapidated cabin. Desperation overtook me, and I rushed inside, slamming the door shut behind me. The air inside was thick with dust and decay, and the dim light revealed a room filled with forgotten relics of the past. I knew I couldn't stay there, so I searched for a way out. As I moved deeper into the cabin, I heard whispers, faint voices that seemed to come from the very walls. They spoke of a curse, of a faceless entity that had haunted these woods for centuries, feeding on the fear of those who ventured too close. Panic clawed at my throat as I realized the truth. We were not alone in these woods, and this entity had no intention of letting us go. I had to find a way to break the curse, to stop the faceless figure before it claimed us all. I continued to explore the cabin, searching for clues, but time seemed to blur, and I couldn't tell how long I had been inside. The whispers grew louder, and I could almost make out the words, but they were just beyond my grasp. Then, with a suddenness that made me jump, the cabin door burst open, and the faceless figure stood in the doorway, its hollow eyes fixed on me. I froze, my heart pounding in my chest as it approached, its presence filling the room with an overwhelming sense of dread. But then, from the corner of my eye, I saw something glinting on a dusty shelf, a small, ornate box. Without thinking, I grabbed it and opened it, revealing a withered, ancient photograph of a family, their faces worn by time, but still filled with love. As I gazed at the photograph, a rush of emotions flooded through me. Love, compassion, and a deep,